How's it going, everybody? Too Spooky here, and today we are going to be continuing our little series about the Akatsuki. We're actually getting pretty close to the end of our little series as well, because after this video today, there's only a handful of characters left. But anyways, with that, today, we are going to be counting down 10 facts about Deidara. This video was suggested by an enormous amount of you guys. Deidara is definitely one of the more popular members of the Akatsuki, so I'm definitely not surprised that so many of you wanted to see a video about this character. And since the previous video was Sasori, I figured it was only appropriate to make a video about his partner next. Anyways guys, thank you to everyone who suggested this video today, and I hope you all enjoy because this one is going out to you. But anyways guys, with that, grab a bunch of clay and let's just jump right into it. Number 1. Deidara was partly inspired from the artist Teiro Okamoto. This inspiration mainly influenced a handful of Deidara's sculptures because many of them were based off of Okamoto's popular abstract art and his sculptures. For instance, the technique from Deidara's C0 explosion is very similar to this sculpture by Okamoto in regards to its shape. And the sculptures themselves were loosely based on some of the other art Okamoto has made. Also, one of Okamoto's most famous phrases was, "Art is explosion," which led to Deidara's favorite phrase, "Art is an explosion." Number 2. Although he was essentially forced to join the Akatsuki due to him losing a challenge, he actually quite enjoyed being part of the organization. This was mainly due to the fact that he saw artistic characteristics in each member, or rather because he saw the members as artists like himself in one way or another. Except for Toby. He hated Toby. But Deidara was particularly fond of his partner Sasori, mainly because he was also an artist much like himself. And although they constantly argued on whether art was eternal or an explosion in one quick instance, they both had a very similar understanding and appreciation for art. Also, because he was so fond of Sasori, he even referred to him as Master Sasori out of respect. And finally, although we don't know for sure if this is actually true, Deidara has even vocally claimed that Sasori was stronger than himself. Number 3. While Deidara was partnered with Sasori, he told Deidara that he was the type of person who would die young. And while Deidara was partnered with Toby, he told Deidara that he would die from an explosion. And almost as some sort of foreshadowing, Deidara not only died while he was young, but he also died in an explosion. Number 4. Deidara was 19 years old when he died, and his birthday was May 5th. Additionally, at 19 years old, he was actually the youngest Akatsuki member. Number 5. When Deidara was reincarnated, he actually had no idea that Sasuke was still alive, due to the fact that he believed he killed Sasuke with his C0 technique, which in turn killed himself. Of course, we all know that Sasuke survived, but Deidara had no clue that his final Big Bang was a failure. Number 6. Deidara's favorite food was boiled eggs in surimi, while his least favorite was a mixture of rice and pilaf. Number 7. In one of the character popularity polls that was created shortly after Deidara and Sasori's debut, Deidara actually placed 3rd overall, beating even the main character himself, who was ranked 4th. Although with this, you have to keep in mind that because this was shortly after his debut, a lot of the other Akatsuki members had yet to be shown. So although Deidara is still a very popular character, his rank fell a little bit over time. Number 8. Deidara was 5 foot 4.5 inches tall, or 166 centimeters tall, and he weighed 112 pounds or 50.8 kilograms. Additionally, his blood type was AB. Number 9. The thing that Deidara despised the most was the Sharingan, and the reason for this was because of his battle with Itachi. Once the Akatsuki caught wind of Deidara's abilities, Itachi, Kisame, and Sasori were sent to try and recruit him. Well, Deidara of course declined, which led to Itachi suggesting a fight between the two, and if Deidara won, the Akatsuki would leave him alone. But if he lost, he had to join the organization. And unfortunately for Deidara, he was quickly defeated by Itachi due to the power of his Sharingan, which is what triggered this grudge. Because of this newfound hate, Deidara was even forced to admit to himself that the Sharingan was a work of art. which had to be very difficult for him to do. And because of all this, Deidara worked towards making himself stronger than Itachi so he could get his revenge. He trained his left eye to counter genjutsu and created the technique C4 to directly counter the Sharingan. What this C4 technique does is instead of Deidara using the mouths on his hands, he uses his actual mouth to create a giant clay figure of himself that explodes into a ton of microscopic bombs that will enter the opponent's bloodstream and disintegrate them at a cellular level, which is a very dangerous technique to be up against. And ironically, even though Deidara absolutely hated the Sharingan with every fiber of his being, his second partner Toby had the Sharingan, and Deidara never had a clue. And the moment that you've all been waiting for, number 10. Now, the most important question I think we can ask is, what the hell is the deal with those mouths on Deidara's hands? Was he born with those? Are they Kekai Genkai? Just what the fuck are they? Well, don't sweat it, guys. For those of you who don't know the answer to this question, do not fear, because today I have the answer. And to put it simply, the mouths on his hands and chest are the result of a kinjutsu, otherwise known as a forbidden jutsu. So he was not born with these. But to go more in depth, Deidara was born with a Kekai Genkai, which is the explosion release, stemming from the mixture of earth and lightning releases. On top of this explosive ability, Deidara loved crafting sculptures out of clay, and he was very good at it. But as I'm sure you all know, art is an explosion! So poor Deidara over here was just lacking the method to mix his explosive personality with his lovely clay sculptures. But later on, Deidara stole this forbidden jutsu from his village, and although it doesn't have a specific name, it allows the user to knead chakra into materials. So basically, Deidara can fuse his chakra into clay, and then use his Kekai Genkai to blow up the chakra-infused sculptures he creates. And the mouths on his hand and chest are the result of this forbidden jutsu. So I hope that clears everything up. And as a little bonus in regards to his hands, although he commonly uses them both to create his sculptures, he uses his left hand more often. But there you have it, everybody, 10 facts about Deidara. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today, and hopefully you learned something. If you did, make sure to drop a like on this video. But that is not all. If you leave a like on this video, there is a 0.00033% chance that you will receive your very own mouth on your hand. That is correct, you will have a mouth on your hand if you're one of the lucky few. And if you're sitting there wondering, well, why the hell would I want a mouth on my hand? Just think of all the possibilities. Also, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got plenty more Naruto related content on the way. As of right now, we're trying to do a video about every single member of the Akatsuki, and we've only got a handful left. So make sure to check out which ones I've already done, and then comment down below which member you would like to see a video about next. Also, make sure to like and follow Too Spooky on his social media and Twitch. You can find those links in the description.
His P.O. Box address is also down there, so make sure to send him a towel.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, hey, Too Spooky, did you call the United Nations yet?
Oh yeah, I did actually. They said there was really nothing they could do about it because every country can have their own opinions about you if they want. So according to them, whether or not the rest of the world has forgiven you, that doesn't mean China has to, apparently. So I guess we'll just all have to avoid that country for a little while.
Ah, I see. Well, we can't say you didn't try. I just wish they weren't so damn stubborn and would at least take the bounty off my head. It almost got me killed, for Christ's sake. But I guess there's nothing we can do about it now, so let's just drop it, I suppose.
Yeah, you're right. Who knows, maybe someday they'll just let it go. But anyways, guys, if you cannot get enough too spooky content, well, why don't you click here for 10 facts about Sasori, which was actually the previous video in our little Akatsuki series. And if that's not doing it for you, well, why don't you click here for 10 facts about Tony Chopper from One Piece. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video today, and I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Hello, Mr. Chung.
Who the hell are you guys?
Who we are is not important, but what we do helps make the world a better place.
What the hell are you talking about?
Just forget about it. Anyways, we heard from some of our sources that the man who tried to kill you was the wanted criminal Bane. Is this correct?
Why the hell should I tell you?
Just answer the question, Mr. Chung.
No, fuck you. Get the hell out of my room. Nurse!
The nurse isn't coming, Mr. Chung. Now let me just put this into perspective for you. You are trapped. Nobody is coming to help you. If you refuse to tell us what you know, not only will we slowly and painfully get the truth out of you, but when we're done, we'll kill you. But before you say anything, we get it. You're old. You probably don't care if you die at this point. So in addition to ending your life, we'll just pay your wife a little visit.
You better leave her the fuck alone or...
Or what, Mr. Chung? Or what? We will not be bombarded with empty threats. You can do nothing to us, and you can do nothing to stop us. So if you refuse to cooperate, we will find Mang Chao, and when we do, we will do every single awful thing you could possibly think of to her. And instead of killing her, maybe we'll just sell her. She may be old, but she has quite a few years left in her. Unlike you, of course. Now, tell me, Mr. Chung, are you ready to cooperate with us?
Fine. What did you want to know? I'll tell you everything.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
Now then, was Bane the one who entered your restaurant and attacked you?
Yes, it was him.
Was he alone?
Yes, he was alone, but he originally came in looking for some fat ginger kid.
Do you know who this kid was?
No, but Bane said something about the kid climbing the Great Wall.
Thank you, Mr. Chung. We only have one more question for you and then we will be on our way. Do you know where Bane went?
He was asking for directions to Mount Tri, and so was that ginger kid. So I assume they both went there.
Mount Tai, huh? Make sure to send some men over there immediately.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Chung, I just wanted to thank you for everything, and for being so cooperative.
Well, you didn't give me a choice.
You're right. I didn't. But I had to get the information out of you one way or another, and unfortunately for you, I was going to kill you one way or another.
Wait, what?
Goodbye, Mr. Chung.